Hello, ghost hunters. How do you find the ghost room? Do you rely on your tools? Do you find it quickly, or are you finding yourself running out of sanity and getting hunted instead? Stay tuned to find my tips for finding the ghost room quickly. Most newer ghost hunters rely on their tools to find the ghost room, and this isn't necessarily bad. In fact, developers have said that they intend to nerf the thermometer because it makes finding the ghost room too easy. So if you're using tools to find the ghost room, you're on the right track. Your best tool for finding the ghost room is the thermometer. The ghost haunting area is always going to be colder than the rest of your location. Keep in mind the game is early release and sometimes temperatures do bug. So if you're having issues finding colder temperatures, not freezing, this may be why. When I play solo games, I always bring the thermometer to find the ghost room. The second best tool is the EMF. The ghost room should give you a reading of an EMF too. When playing with friends, I always bring the EMF to find the ghost area, mostly because my teammates love the thermometer. But if you've played a bit of Phasmophobia already, you know that sometimes ghosts are shy and getting an EMF reading is very difficult. In my opinion, the third best tool would be the UV light. Remember though that fingerprints is the least common evidence found with ghosts, so unless you have one of those 5 types of ghost, you won't find anything with the UV. UV should be secondary to the thermometer and the EMF. You can use the spirit box to find the ghost, but this can be very tricky. As the most common evidence among ghosts, you can frequently get a response on the spirit box, but shy ghosts are slow to talk, and if you're not near the ghost, you won't get a response. And the scariest tool you can use? The Ouija Board. If you have one available to you, you can simply turn it on and ask the ghost where it is. Keep in mind the ghost response is where it currently is, and ghosts do wander.
Where are you?
But this will narrow down the location for you. It will also lower your sanity, unless of course it's a demon, and then make the ghost a lot less friendly. Many hunts are in your future. So can you find the ghost without tools? Absolutely. Use your ears. Sounds are often the biggest indicator of where the ghost is haunting. For example, running water will tell you the ghost is in that room or in an adjacent room. If you hear footsteps, the ghost is there. If you hear a light flip on or off, you've found the ghost. Most of these require you to be somewhat near the ghost location though. Every location has its own unique sounds that add to the atmosphere. Be careful not to fall for these sounds, as they won't help you find the ghost haunting grounds. Use your ears to listen for sounds of activity from the ghost interacting with objects, doors, lights, water, or whatever else. Ignore the environment sounds as they don't lead you to the ghost. And finally, what's the best way to find the ghost? Talk to it. If you're not talking to your ghost, you're doing it wrong and you're making it harder for yourself. My favorite map is Asylum, and that is because it is so easy to find the ghost room. I have a short list of favorite things to say to the ghost to get it to show me where it is, so here you go. Here's my secret to finding the ghost. First, give me a sign. This should be your go-to in every location, small or large. This allows the ghost to give you a sign based on the location and the items that are near it. For example, in the school, if it's in a room with a phone, it can ring that phone. Or if it's in a room with a ball, it can bounce the ball or send it rolling down the hall. If it's in the prison, it can open a jail cell. This simple phrase is what you use to test your mic, and it is the phrase you should use the most with the ghost. Second, open a door. In large locations, there's so many doors, and you really shouldn't open any of them. Opening a door to a hallway is one thing, but opening every door to every room, well, that's gonna make finding the ghost harder. So tell the ghost to open a door, so that when you find a room with an open door, you know you've found the ghost.
Open a door. Oh, I got a door open. A's upstairs, guys.
Third, turn on a light. Lighting in Phasmophobia can be a bit tricky. Sometimes you'll think a light is on when it's not. This is the only reason I put this third. But if you come to a room with an open door, a light on, and water running, well, you've just hit the trifecta. And at least for the open door and the light on, that happens with me on almost every single hunt. The water, of course, depends on if there's a sink available in the room. Fourth, yes, there's one more. Depending on the location, I'll ask for further proof. For example, if I'm in the school, I'll ask the ghost to ring a phone. If I'm in a house, I'll ask it to ring a phone or make a sound. Sometimes I'll even ask it to move something.
Give us a sign.
Really recognize?
It's
here
right
you go.
here.
These are all conditional, of course, and some work better than others. But I've definitely gotten the ghost to play the piano or strum the guitar, and I've gotten it to bounce balls down the stairs or down a hallway. These aren't necessary, of course, but it does break up the monotony of asking for a sign, open a door, turn on a light, and sometimes they help you quickly narrow down where you should be looking. And finally, I recently had a subscriber, thank you King of Earth for your questions and suggestions, ask about finding the ghost room, and here's my thoughts to your questions. First, if you're with a group, you should split up, especially when you first enter the location because your sanity is still high, and it does make for finding the ghost room quicker. The larger locations split up alone and announce where you plan to go. For example, when I go into Asylum, I always take top right. If I'm with 3 others, someone will take top left, someone will take the bottom right, and someone will take the bottom left. Of course, we'll swap areas if we are unsuccessful on the first run through. If you're in a smaller location, you can stay in groups of 2 and quickly cover the whole area. If you're splitting up, keep in mind that you should bring the right tools, even if it means bringing more than one thermometer or more than one EMF inside the location. In large locations, my teammates know not to open the doors or turn on the lights. This makes it harder to find the ghost, so this may be something you need to plan out with your team before entering. If someone opens a door, they'll often announce over the radio, but the sound the ghost makes opening the door is not the same as the sound your teammate makes, so knowing the difference helps. Keep in mind that sometimes new ghost hunters are a little bit scared and sometimes don't want to split up, so be sensitive to your teammates' needs. Second, my go-to for tools is the EMF and the spirit box. However, if I'm alone doing a hunt, I bring the thermometer and the spirit box. As I mentioned before, spirit box is the most common evidence, so I like to get it out of the way early.
Where are you? No, I meant the ghost. Where are you?
Here.
Where are you?
Behind.
And the thermometer is the best way to verify your ghost room once you've found it. It's fairly rare for me to find the ghost room without it having opened a door, turned on a light, or given me a sign first. And as for your last question in regards to the ghost hunting and using it to find the ghost room, I have done this, and it isn't easy. Finding the ghost room while it's hunting most certainly can result in death and should probably be your last option if all else fails. Remember, ghosts are slower than you, unless it's a revenant or if it's a djinn that the power is still on, so you can outrun it. If you've seen my video on the string theory, then breaking line of sight is key. Just remember, banshees do not adhere to the string theory and will follow you regardless. If you're using a hunt to find the ghost room, you must be careful and use your ears. Follow the sound to figure out where exactly the ghost is spawning and thus narrowing down the ghost area. The best way to do this with success is to set up cameras and then use a teammate in the van who can safely observe the ghost movements without being in harm's way. It can be done, it's just much harder, and you shouldn't need to resort to this very often if you follow my other tips first. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for watching. If you have questions or topics you'd like me to cover, please leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from all of you. Remember to like and subscribe, and of course, happy hunting.